Dark halls, whispering shadows speak. Camera's eyes sees all, no need to peek. Cold spots, chills running down my spine. Audio crackling, words left behind. Ancient walls, oh they creak and groan. Specters call us through the stone. Eerie whispers caught in the night, searching for answers in the ghostly light. Life after life, we hunt the unknown through the veil where silence grown. Truth in the echoes, truth in the screams. Paranormal world ain't just dreams. Flickers in the dark make me stay aware. EVP's proof that souls do dare. Haunted streets of olden days, we track the spirits lost in the haze. Echoes of lives once lived, now gone. We follow trails till the break of dawn. Through misty cloisters, ancient graves, seeking truth where the moonlight waves. Life after life, we hunt the unknown through the veil where silence grown. Truth in the echoes, truth in the screams. Paranormal world ain't just dreams. Life after life, we hunt the unknown through the veil where silence grown. Truth in the echoes, truth in the screams. Paranormal world ain't just dreams. Ooh, ain't just dreams.
So people who had red heads, they were considered unlucky, and you wouldn't have them on board. You also, if you see them at court, so for example, that's why I had to look, because if there was a red-headed person at court, I had to make sure I talked to you before you talked to me, okay? Otherwise, the bad luck would wear off. Another group of people who were not allowed on ships, and of course we make up around 50% of the world's population. Anyone that hasn't a guess? Women! Women were not allowed on ships. They were inherently bad luck. They would cause storms to rise up, Neptune be angry, and press the ship to capsize. That's what sailors believed anyway. Sailing was a very male-oriented job. But my first story is about having a woman on board a ship. A real ship, the Lady Lovabond, which sailed the Atlantic Ocean. She left, she left Dublin on the 13th of February, 1798. The captain of that ship was a man called Joseph Sims. Now Joseph Sims had just got married to the lovely Annetta. She was an absolutely stunning woman. Flaxen-haired, pale-skinned, bright blue eyes, and perfect Irish colleen. Now, the problem is, the man had just got married. He was due to set off on the 13th of February. He was bound for Portugal, so he decides, why not bring the missus? We'll honeymoon in Portugal while the ship is being filled with cargo, and I'll bring her back home to Dublin. So, he brought her on board. He knew the crew wouldn't be happy. So, to make sure they had other things on their mind, he brought some. I don't want you up there. You come down here because you've fallen down from there once. Come down here. Okay? You've already fallen off that. I don't want you falling off again. Alright? Sims brought with him huge amounts of rum, champagne, leftover fancy food for the wedding, And in the galley of the ship, they had a fantastic party that night as they left Dublin. The only people who weren't allowed down there were the people who had jobs to do, the people whose watch it was. That included the helmsman and his first mate, a man called John Rippers. Now John was a bit of an odd bird. Hello folks, come on ahead in there, that's it. John was a bit of an odd bird. Very taciturn and sullen individual. A scowl on his face at all times. Heavy brow knitted together with stress and worry. And John had one other thing. He was in love with the captain's new wife. He had been a potential suitor, but unfortunately she had turned him down in favour of a man with higher rank. And so the fact that she was now on board this ship really stuck with him. He spent the entire night, as the rest of the crew celebrated down below, pacing up and down the top deck of the ship, his footsteps echoing out into the cold, misty night. Eventually, just before midnight, just before his watch was due to end, his mind snapped. He decided that if she wasn't going to be with him, she wasn't going to be with anybody. And so, he lifted a belaying pin. Do you know what a belaying pin is? This is a belaying pin. You're thinking of Waller down the dockside. He lifted a belaying pin off the ship, a heavy club of wood, and began to walk up and down, tossing it in his hands, considering his next move. He walked up to the poop deck, of which there's nothing funny about. It's just the name for a deck above a cabin. Stood behind the helmsman, the man steering the ship, lifted the belaying pin high in the air, and in one move, smashed his brains out onto the helm. John took a hold of the wheel, covered in blood and gore as it was, and began to steer the ship towards the land. Not to safe harbour, but to jagged, spiky rocks and a protruding cliff. He listened as people realised the ship had changed course down below, the thundering of footsteps running up to the galley, and just as the captain reached the top deck, with a foul smile, John gave one final spin of the wheel and rammed the ship home on the cliff. The sides splintered, the ropes snapped, the sails ripped in two, and the Lady Lovabond went down, losing every single soul on board. 50 years later, 1848, on the night of the 13th of February, just off the southern coast of Ireland, fishermen returning in with a nighttime haul heard cries and screams in the night. They quickly changed course, heading landside to look for a ship that was clearly in trouble. The sight that befell them was horrifying. A ghostly, spectral ship, its sails glowing with an unearthly light, crashing home onto the sharp, jagged rocks. They heard one scream above all others, a woman's, calling her husband's name. Every 50 years since that night, just off the south coast of Ireland, the Lady Lovabond has been seen. Just before midnight, on the 13th of February, the two lovers doomed to never spend their first Valentine's Day together. So are any of you planning to see each other anytime soon? If so, don't take a week. The next story I have for you is a story of a ship called the Marabella. The Marabella was a ship a little bit like this one. Her sole duty was ferrying people to and from America and Ireland. This time, we don't start in Ireland, we start in America. Philadelphia, to be precise. The Marabella was captained by a man called Simon Reed. and he had found need to take on new crew in Philadelphia. Some of his old crew having finished, they just wanted to get to America. Among his new intake of people was an Irishman called Wilson. Now, Wilson had seen some things in America. It's never been recorded quite what. Some legends say that he witnessed his family murdered in front of him. Others say that he was the one that snapped and murdered his family. Whatever the reason, he was a drunk, an alcoholic of the first water. When Wilson joined the ship, the captain insisted that he lay off the drink. And he did well for the first few days, but then he went back to the kitchen. In other words, turned out suspicious drunk on his next watch. The captain began to plead with him and said, "You have to knock this thing on the head." And he promised he would. Another 3 days goes past. It all seems to be going well, and then finally he turns up drunk and stocious on watch again. The last time, the captain says to him, "You need to sort this out." He promised faithfully that he would. "Come on in, folks, you're welcome, Jonas." He goes up to do the watch from midnight until dawn. Completely sober to start with. The captain goes to bed from 10. Soon, in the early hours of the morning, the crew wake him up and say, "Wilson's at it again, come on up on deck." The captain throws a coat on over his nightshirt, heads up onto the top deck, and lo and behold, Wilson, stinking of whiskey, being held back by half a dozen sailors from jumping over the side of the ship. The captain orders him brought to his cabin and locked in there for his own good. For 3 days and 3 nights, Wilson lay on his bed, having nothing, no food, no water. He refused everything. And then finally, third night, he began to scream. He began to scream and wail from morning till night, ripping his throat out with the effort of it. The crew were at their wits' end. They didn't know what to do. He would not eat, he would not sleep, he would not drink. All there was frantic cries. Couldn't even make out any words. And then one night, as the captain was trying to sleep, he was woken by an eerie silence. Wilson had stopped screaming. Fearing the worst, the captain got up, went to his room to find the door open and unlocked. He searched through the decks of the ship, finally arriving on the top deck to where a grisly scene met his eyes. Sailor Wilson at the prow, a knife sticking in his heart. The captain led an investigation to ascertain what happened. The crewmen said that Wilson had escaped with his own steam, and some of the night watchmen had caught him, held him back, tried to stop him jumping over the side of the ship, and in the ensuing struggle, somehow, he ended up with a dagger in his heart. The captain had darker suspicions. He thought that the crew, driven mad by Wilson's screaming, had dragged him there themselves and killed him to silence him. Whatever the case may have been, the next night was the first full moon of their journey. The captain had retired just after dinner until the cabin boy came down to wake him. The cabin boy was white as a sheet, his hands trembling, his eyes full of fear. The captain, fearing something else had gone wrong, immediately jumped out of bed and said, "What's wrong?" The cabin boy just gestured. The cabin boy brought the captain to the top deck of the ship and pointed with a trembling finger at a pile of ropes. Sitting on top of that pile of ropes, his face dark and thunderstruck, blood dripping down his shirt, was Sailor Wilson. The ghostly apparition turned to look at the captain, and in one foul grin and a waft of whiskey, he disappeared. From that day on, the Barabella never had a moment's peace. Ill winds, bad tides, and she never, ever kept her crew longer than one journey. Everyone retired for the same reason. A terrible grin and a waft of whiskey. So folks, that's just a few stories of the high seas. I'll be doing more storytelling again next hour. You're also going to be in time if you head to the American side of the park, to the West End, Your colleague Pam will be telling Native American myths and legends down there. Quarter to two. Alright? Thank you very much, folks.
Double speed, simply breathe the cold night air. Ghosts whisper in the alley, secrets they won't share. In session, try to pull them from despair. Crackling voices through static, get you with a scare. Old castles, ancient echoes calling from the dark. Runes etched in stone, leaving us their mark. Spirit box whirling shadows in the park. History speaking, making our hearts lock. Life after life, questions never rest. Searching for the truth, putting souls to the test. Paranormal whispers making us obsessed. Guided by the unknown, feeling so possessed. Eerie silence fills the midnight skies. Eyes in the dark, hear their forlorn cries. Staring down the shadows, asking all the wise. In the heart of island, truth never lies. Investigating runes, feel the ancient chill. Fog rolls in thick, breathing atmosphere still. Every step echoes, knowing it's God's will. Seeking out the legends hidden in the hills. Life after life, questions never rest. Searching for the truth, putting souls to the test. Paranormal whispers making us obsessed. Guided by the unknown, feeling so possessed. Life after life, questions never rest. Searching for the truth, putting souls to the test. Paranormal whispers making us obsessed. Guided by the unknown, feeling so possessed.